You know, it's an elimination game for us, so we might as well. Winnipeg, we need some offense, boys, and that's Taylor Hall. And we're gonna get beat out by the Blackhawks in round number 1. Are you kidding me? We had a 50-win season. We're gonna lose in round 1? Oh my gosh, third period. Let's go. Wake up. Oh, wow, and Zach Parise, the 40-year-old Zach Parise is going to get a third goal on me, and we're going to get shut out. Are you kidding me? This dynamic offense that we have with Kyle Connor, with Mark Scheifele, are you joking? We're going to get destroyed in round 1 to the lowly Chicago Blackhawks, who aren't even going to make the playoffs in real life. They signed Patrick Kane miraculously, and all of a sudden, they can make the playoffs, and I'm stuck with a 50-win team, and I lose in 6 games? Game 7, Western Conference Finals. Blake Wheeler takes a penalty in overtime. Here's Sam Reinhart into the slot. There's Fabry. What a save from Connor Hellebuck, though. And now, Reinhart to Fabry. And that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. The adrenaline in this building would be crazy for the Rangers, but for us, just energy absolutely sapped from this game, from this series even. We didn't even stand a chance, really. After that first game, seems like they corrected their course. They found us in their sights and they shot. As Kyle Connor comes roaring out of the box. Connor Bedard, though, into the slot. Tyler Toffoli! And that's gonna do it. The silence is deafening. 20,000 fans silenced at Tyler Toffoli's brilliance. Okay. I hear you, boys. I hear you indeed. Welcome back, first and foremost, to episode number 19 or so of the Winnipeg Jets franchise mode NHL 24. We are here starting off year number 5, and as you guys saw in that little preview, it's been nothing but misery. Granted, I will give us this, we have made the Western Conference Finals pretty much for the last 3 to 4 years now. We made the Stanley Cup Finals once, so we've had success here in Winnipeg, but it seems like it's just not enough. In the last episode, if you guys missed it, we had a great draft getting, a bunch of medium elite prospects, low elite prospects, guys who can hopefully make a difference in a couple of years to come here. And we also went out in free agency and we acquired some depth pieces to help us out. We only had $5.6 million to work with, so we had to be very careful. We went out and picked up Logan O'Connor, we picked up Philippe Danault, and we picked up Adam Beckman, all in free agency to kind of fill out the bottom 6 here. We weren't really looking for any major top 6 scoring, but seems like last episode was a bit of a controversial one, or at least the fans definitely came out in the last one and put their thoughts down below, which I love to see. Whether you agree with my decisions or not, I absolutely love seeing all the comments that we had in the last one. So speaking of the comments, let's start it off here with Fresh, who says, great episode as always. Thank you. I would only extend Morrissey for 4, maybe 5 years and keep Brodin for 4 as well. Then he wants to trade Werenski for a younger right side D-man. Also, he wants to make the third D pairing better and put O'Connor on that 4th line with Beckman and Danault. We need an upgrade on the 3rd line because the problem in the playoffs was scoring. The top 6 is great, but if you find a top 6 power forward you can trade for, I'd do that. But hopefully these changes can take the Jets to the promised land. Thank you very much, Fresh. So just to recap Fresh's thoughts, wants to trade basically Werenski for a better right side defenseman. This is basically the topic of the video here. If we look at our defensive core, we have Morrissey, Werenski, and Brodin as like our top 3 defensemen, basically. Then we have Matheson, Kniazev, and Vilihinola. So a lot of people saying that, or a lot of people saying that we need a better right side defenseman for our second pair. Michael Matheson is the odd guy out. Fresh here says we should trade Werenski for a younger right defenseman, but as we will see in the other comments, it seems like the AGMs are not on the same page here, which puts me in a bit of a tricky situation. So let's go down to an absolute essay. I love it. An absolute essay from Alex here. And let's just start it off. Here we go. He says, "Thank you for the episode of Chronos. Super entertaining as always." Well, you're welcome. However, the fans are getting restless and starting to criticize the GM, who seems too reticent to make the big moves to put us over the top. For years now, since Pionk was let go, there's been a dire need for a good top four right-handed defenseman, and nothing has been done to fix it. Just this offseason, Pesce was available, Carlo was available, and Pulock was offered in a trade for picks and prospects. So, I feel the need to defend myself just a little bit about the decisions that I made. Okay? We let Pulock go. Maybe a bit of a mistake. However, we brought in Werenski. I would say Werenski is pretty much better than Pulock. We brought in Brodin. I would say Brodin is better than Pulock. Josh Morrissey has grown to a 90 overall. And if you're going to say, okay, well, maybe those guys are better, but it would have been better having Pulock alongside of that top four, sure, but then Dylan DeMello was here making like $5 million or $4 million or something. Brendan Dillon was also here for a while, so like these guys are not making no money. So we have to make sure we have that salary cap in mind. That's another reason why I didn't go out and pick up Pesce and pick up Carlo. Those guys were asking for like 5.5 mil, something like that in free agency, maybe 6 million free agency. I only had $5 million to spend or $6 million to spend in free agency. So if I go out and take one of those guys, then I have like 600K in the bank. I can't make a fourth line. Our fourth line is going to be filled with 77 overalls, 76 overalls. So I needed to get the depth forwards in order for us to have an NHL caliber team, because we can't have 77, 78s on our fourth line and expect to be a good playoff contender. So as much as, yes, Carlo was available, Pesce was available, the contracts that those guys signed, I wouldn't have been able to keep on this team unless we made some big moves. I definitely get the anger around not signing those guys, but I think the salary cap wouldn't allow it. Even if we traded out Michael Matheson, who's making 5.5 or so, we're still adding to the salary cap. I wouldn't have been able to fill up the line. Like, those guys got like $6 million in free agency. So, but either way, Fresh goes on to say, instead, over time, we've gotten the Lindells, the Mathesons, the Zukers, Old Malkins, and now Danos of this world for top dollar. Yeah, I think Lindell and Matheson were both kind of expensive, just 5.5 to $6 million. But Jason Zucker we got for like a sixth round selection. Even Malkin we've got for some older picks. And Dano we only spent $2 million on. So I'm not sure if that's really top dollar, but definitely Lindell and Matheson. You have to pay more for defensemen as franchise mode goes on. That's just how it is. So if you're going to pick up defensemen in free agency, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. There's so much cap wasted on inconsequential players when the team really needs two things. One, a very good right-handed defenseman, and two, a star forward, which Perfetti has yet to turn into, to complement Connor and push everyone else down the lineup. Not more overpaid second and third line tweeners. All right, fair enough. He wants some high overalls to come onto this team, basically. He says the team has been close many times, yet it feels like the GM has been more concerned about saving first-round picks that may or may not turn into third-line scores than bringing home the cup. Please fix the roster holes while the core is still serviceable. All right, so maybe the GM being a little bit, hesitant to make changes here, and that's why we haven't really spent some first-round selections. Although we did spend firsts to get guys like Zach Werenski, to bring in Boone Jenner and Zach Werenski. I'm pretty sure that was a first or maybe a couple of seconds. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have been a little bit not active enough, but at the same time, we've made the last like 3 Western Conferences in a row. We've been a really good team these past 3 to 4 years. So I don't know. I think we're in a good place. We just need that little extra push over the top. Alex says up front, Connor, Perfetti, Ehlers, Besser, now that he's 87 overall, Lucius, upside, are untouchable. So those are the only guys on the forwards that he thinks are untouchable. Kyle Connor, Cole Perfetti, Nikolai Ehlers, and Brock Besser, and Chaz Lucius. And then on defense, only Morrissey and Werenski, age, overall, offense, and cheap extensions are. Now, Morrissey does not really have a cheap extension, but he's not going anywhere. He's 32, 1 more year on his deal, but he wants like 13 million, but he's not going to go anywhere. Zach Werenski at 30, making 9.5 mil. His extension is fairly cheap, but probably only for a couple of years. I would say we're going to keep him. And then you will see that he did not mention Jonas Brodin in the defenseman. So he says everything slash everyone else, including first round picks, should be on the table. So we get, one comment here from Alex saying, basically we can trade anybody except for those guys that I just mentioned. And then we have the comment from Fresh saying that we should trade Zach Werenski for a younger right side D-man, whereas Alex says that Werenski should be untouchable. So you guys see how this is a little bit difficult for me right now. So it means that basically I've got to be the tiebreaker here, right? And I think we can find a bit of a nice little spot in between here. But let's continue with Alex's comment to start. He says a decision has to be made. Either retool to extend the window and give ourselves a chance to win. So Scheifele, Hellebuck, Brodin on the block. And I will say about that is when we started this, go back to the first episode, when we started this, I made a comment basically saying we want to try to win with Scheifele and Hellebuck because they had just signed their $8.5 million extensions for the next 7 or 8 years or whatever it was. So we want to try to win with them on the team, which means they're basically going to play out their contracts at the very, very minimum to the last year on the block. So Scheifele and Hellebuck are not going anywhere, if I'm being quite honest with you guys, because the challenge of this franchise model is to try to win with them on the team despite them being a little bit older and they're overall trying to drop a little bit, right? So Alex says either retool to extend the window and give ourselves a better chance to win, or go all in with the current roster and make a splash. So trade picks and prospects for a star, forward, or defenseman. For example, he says, maybe revisit Buffalo and see if that medium elite junior sniper is still available, or Nashville for the young elite goaltender Askarov. The point is, if there's a cup contending team out there that needs star vet additions and is willing to part with elite prospects to acquire them, pull the trigger. So he says Scheifele plus Brodin plus more. So Scheifele or Brodin or more for an elite prospect and like some expiring dead cap or whatever. The problem is we don't have the cap space to bring in expiring dead cap, and we barely have the cap space to make any great moves, so it's a bit of a problem, but I have gone ahead and tried to figure some stuff out. And then he says, on the other hand, if you're committed to the roster, help it out with a big defensive or forward addition. Whichever way you go, make a choice, as status quo would be a horrible thing at this point. We just got bounced by Chicago. I wouldn't say we got bounced, but yes, we did lose in 7 games to Chicago. Imagine we perform well in the regular season again, head into the playoffs unchanged again. I don't think there's been a single regular postseason that we went unchanged. It's minor changes, but not unchanged, and get bounced near the finish line again. No way. There would be chance to fire the GM in the streets. At this point, fans are begging the GM, please, there's only so much time left with Scheifele, Hellebuck, Brodin playing at elite level. Do something, with a little laughing face there. We have a bit of an exchange down in the comments, and Alexander then also makes a comment, two more suggestions, saying maybe try 5 forwards on the power play with Morrissey and Werenski both on power play line 2. We could do that for sure. And then he says, number 2, extend Werenski for sure, but wait on Morrissey since $13 million is crazy and bound to come down by the next offseason. Thank you again for the great entertainment. Well, Alex, appreciate the thoughts and all the comments that we had on the last one. Like, we had like 8 comments or something like that. So definitely probably close to a channel record, I would assume. But yeah, whether you guys agree with the decisions that I make or not, this is why I love this series, is because we get to talk hockey, we get to talk what is best for the team and all this other stuff. So I am super happy that you guys take the time to write those comments down below. And as always, this is our series together, so we're going to try to make some choices based on what you guys suggested down below in those comments. So with all that out of the way, I know it was a super long ramble from me, but we can finally get started with this season. So first things first, we see in Alexander's comment that he desperately wants a star defenseman or a star forward. So if we go through all these teams, right, basically we need to find a seller who is willing to give up a player, or it makes sense to pick up a player. a really good player as well. So if we go down here, conservative buyers, look in the bottom right of your screen. There's Chicago, who is listed as a seller, but they have really young pieces for the most part. A guy like Seth Jones, but 9.5 for 3 years is crazy. Berkeley Catton, they wouldn't want to trade. Neither would they want to trade Korchinski because they're all young players. Kuzmenko, they want to trade him, but $8.9 million. I am not that insane. And then Tyler Toffoli could be an interesting pickup as well. But let's just keep going here and see what is available, because I do have my eye on a very specific team, because I've already gone ahead. I had to spend like a couple hours the other day on trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I think it comes from the Nashville Predators, guys. Now, they are listed as a seller. If we go into their team, they have a lot of guys here on their block. Philip Keitel's on their block. Arturi Lekkonen's on their block. Daniel Sprong is on their block. Cody Glass. So they want to trade out a bunch of these guys. And here's the thing. In franchise mode, we often have to suspend our disbelief a little bit and make up our own storylines for reasons why things might work, right? So if we're thinking about Nashville, they've got some young, medium elite players here, and they've got some older, good players. And it seems like in the past, let me just take somebody who I know has been here for a while, so Philip Forsberg. It seems like in the past 4 years, so since we've started this, they have not made it past they actually haven't made it into the playoffs at all? Are you joking? That's crazy. Let me look at Roman Josi. Playoff stats. Yeah, they have not made the playoffs since 2022. So these guys are desperately looking to make a big change in the team. And so you know what that change is for us? It's Roman Josi. I think it makes a little bit of sense here to try to pick up a guy like Roman Josi. Former Norris Trophy winner, 88 overall. I know he's not a right-handed defenseman, but in this game, I feel like it doesn't really matter that much where they play. In fact, I would probably argue that playing them on their offside is a little bit better, because you get the one-timers, especially if you go in to watch the gameplay, get the one-timers, you get them on better angles for shooting. So it's not like the real world where, it's pretty important to play on your natural side because of the defensive implications of that. In franchise mode, that doesn't really matter, especially if you go in and watch the gameplay. So either way, Roman Josi here, 88 overall. And why would they want to trade him? Well, the biggest thing to me, he's on an expiring deal and he does not have an extension. I know I'm not sure if he's their captain in this universe, but he's a great player for them. It's going to cost us a bunch to get him, but him being on an expiring deal is really, really telling here. I think the fact that they haven't extended him, the fact that they have guys like Philip Keitel extended for 5 years, Arturi Lekkonen for 4 years, and then they have a bunch of young guys that they have to sign in 2 years. I think the space, like they could sign a Roman Josi maybe for 1 more year, but even then, like their salary is getting close up there. And at the end of the day, you guys want changes to happen. So if we want to make changes like that, I think taking a Roman Josi makes a little bit of sense compared to some other guys who I was looking at where I was like, they just wouldn't. There was no chance that they would want to trade this guy. So I think Roman Josi is our trade target for today. But if Roman Josi is our trade target, who is going the other way? Well, we need to send out some cap, right? And so if we look at our cap hits, Kyle Connor's not going anywhere. Werenski not in this deal for sure. Nikolai Ehlers not going anywhere. Mark Scheifele not going anywhere. Josh Morrissey, no. Jonas Brodin, not right now. Cole Perfetti, no. And then Michael Matheson making $5.725 million. He has got to be the guy to go. But we would still be over the salary cap. So I need them to retain as little as possible, but basically as much as their will, or as much as gets us over the cap. So I just gotta rate here 10% of the salary they have to retain to make it go through. Okay, next up, so this means that Roman Josi is basically making $8.145 million for us. So I mean, that's a pretty good deal. But next up, it's going to have to be a first round pick, and they want our first round pick as well. So that is massive. Our first round pick this year. And then also going the other way is going to be a goaltender, a medium elite goalie. So this is why I don't really think we have to go out and get a medium elite goalie, because Hellebuck is still going to be good for the next couple of years. And then right after that, maybe we have a little bit of a period where we don't have an elite goalie, but Helmerson at 20 years old, 64 overall, medium elite, he's growing just fine over there in, what is this, like the SHL probably. So I'm not too worried about picking up a goalie right now. But somebody like Scott Carter, who we just drafted in the 4th round this year, to pick up elite players, you got to get rid of some elite players. I don't know why that didn't work, but here we go. So Scott Carter also going to be on the block. And now I want to see if this would go through. So boys, I know it's incredibly early. We haven't even simulated a single game and I'm already making a huge move. But I've heard enough from the assistant general managers. You guys all wanted me to make changes to bring in another defenseman to the team. And so a guy like Roman Josi, he fits the bill. He's 88 overall. He's a former Norris Trophy winner. In this universe, he's a 40-point guy, 50-point guy. But remember, he's been on a team that hasn't made the Stanley Cup playoffs and since 21-22, so he hasn't exactly been getting a lot of help out there. In his first simulation year, he had 676 points, so he can definitely get it done. It's just he's been on a rough team, I think, for the most part, but he can play like 25 minutes a night, right? So this is a guy that can really eat a bunch of minutes for us. He hits and he blocks as well, over 100 hits and blocks both in every single year since the simulation started. So I think this is a guy that we can definitely rely on to help us out. Going the other way, Michael Matheson, a free agent acquisition that did not really work out for us. He played all 82 games last year. He got 21 points. It's not horrible by any stretch of the imagination, but you guys want to see changes, so we have to move guys out. And unfortunately, Michael Matheson's going to get the bullet there, bite the bullet, excuse me. Then a first-round pick. Again, people saying that I've been a little bit too conservative with my pick usage. So if we want to get an 88 overall, going to have to be a first-round pick, and then a medium elite goaltender as well. So we're giving them another goalie of the future who they want, I guess just as a backup for Yaroslav Askarov, who's a medium elite goalie that they want to ship out, or maybe they want to, just have somebody in the system that can play in their AHL team. I'm not exactly sure, but it's not really my business either. They have a great goaltending tandem here, but they're listed as sellers. They don't want to trade Roman Josi for sure, but also if we want to make a move, there's nobody really wants to trade an elite defenseman that we want, right? So you have to kind of make up these storylines as you go. But I think as storylines go, they're a seller. We're giving them a guy who can fill in the spot for the next 2 years. Not going to be the same as Roman Josi, obviously, but we're giving them a first. We're giving them a medium elite player as well. What do you say to this, Nashville? Is this okay, or do you need some more? Let's see what they say. And on behalf of the Nashville Predators organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out on the ice. Wow. So big time moves there, guys. If I get a comment now saying you didn't do enough, I sent out a medium elite goaltender, our second pairing defenseman, and wrong person. And I sent out, oh, look at this. This is nice. And a medium elite goaltending prospect. So now if I haven't done enough, look at our top 4 defensemen now. 90, 88, 87, 88. Both commenters wanted me to switch up the defense. I know Fresh said trade Werenski. Alex said keep Werenski. So I'm in a bit of a pickle there, but I will tell you guys this. If we are in a position at the deadline where we have to trade somebody, or we're not a good team somehow or something like that, and we want to make a move and, maybe trade, say, a Zach Werenski for a really good, like, incredible power forward, like maybe, a Brady Tkachuk, a Matthew Tkachuk, somebody like that who can really make a difference, an Alex Tuck kind of a guy, if they're on the block and we think Werenski isn't cutting it, or even Roman Josi isn't cutting it or something like that, I will go ahead and make that trade. But for right now, I think this might do. Obviously, we do have to kind of help out this this bottom six a little bit here. I'll put Logan O'Connor on that fourth line because that's what Fresh said here. Put O'Connor on the fourth line with Beckman and Danault. So that's what the fourth line is going to look like. We need an upgrade on the third line. The problem in the playoffs was scoring. The top six is great, but if you can find a top six power forward you can trade for, I'd do that. So I didn't see any top six power forwards on the block, but as we go throughout the video here, obviously we're going to stop it halfway through and see who's on the block, what we can trade for, where we are in the standings, all that stuff. But for right now, boys, look at how close we are to the cap floor. So that is that's pretty scary, but I'm going to leave it how it is for right now, and I'll see you guys at the end of the preseason. Okay, boys, so the preseason is over now. We ended up going 5-2-0. I'll just show you guys a quick look at the stats of everybody. Cole Perfetti went crazy with 11 points in 7 games. Kyle Connor had 9. Roman Josi had 7. So I actually put him a little bit on that first line. I'll show you that in a little bit. Gabriel Velarde, I put him on the third line. He got 6. Philippe Danault on the fourth line had 6 points. Mark Scheifele had 6 points on that second line. Zach Werenski, 6 points. Chaz Lucius with 5 playing third line. Josh Morrissey with 5. Nikolai Ehlers with 5. Brock Besser with 5 on the first line. So just good scoring all around. Logan O'Connor even with 4 points. So I will take this. Brad Lambert with 3. And then all the other guys down here. So looking at the lines, these are going to be the lines that we start the season off with. I changed Gabriel Velarde and Chaz Lucius here just because when Chaz Lucius was up there, this line was like a -3. And so with Gabriel Velarde, they became basically a +2, +3 kind of a thing. So I'm happy with that. Chaz Lucius went down to that third line and played with Brad Lambert, who is +3, and Logan Hutsko. You can see Chaz Lucius with -2, and then Nikolai Ehlers, the only other guy minus, but he was playing with Chaz Lucius, so I think was bringing him down a little bit. Defensively, after 4 games, I changed Roman Josi to the top, so it was like this obviously before. But I changed Roman Josi to play up top there with Josh Morrissey, and those guys lit it up. Josh Morrissey with 5 points, Roman Josi with 7 points, +5. And then the second line was great as well. Look at the +/- +9 for Brodin and +5 for Zach Werenski. And then the third line defensively also did their thing, +2. Goaltenders, I didn't actually change the goalies out, but Connor Hellebuyck, 898 save percentage, not fantastic. Jake Greaves, 959. That is a huge. We will take that for sure. And let me change the power play actually, because I did not have Morrissey off of it. So should we put Perfetti or should we put Chaz Lucius? Either way, we lose the +5 though. Don't love that. I'm not gonna lie. We can come over here and we can take Logan O'Connor off and put in. Let's put Roman Josi over here for now. I think. Do we do Roman Josi and? Roman Josi, but who do we take out? I guess Philippe Danault, but Danault was great. What were his preseason stats? Okay, so I'm going to leave them like this for now. I know there was a comment saying to go, I think Alex made the comment saying go 5 forwards on the first line, but I don't like that we lose +5 and we go immediately to 0. That seems a little bit insane to me. So I'm going to leave Morrissey there for now. I'll throw him on his shooting side, though. Let's get Kyle Connor to be the finisher. Kyle Connor, let's make sure that he's on his shooting side. Left-handed, yes, okay, good. So Morrissey distributes over to Kyle Connor. Puck carrier can be Nikolai Ehlers, sure, I like that. And then for the second unit, we can have Werenski and so let's make the puck carrier into the zone Roman Josi because he has wheels. The distributor can be I guess Zach Werenski, and the finisher can be Roman Josi. He's got thunderclap, so let's just see if that works. Perfetti's in the middle to tip that puck in as well, so let's just hope for now. Alright boys, so you've seen the lines, and without further ado, let's start off our season in Carolina, Raleigh, Carolina, and let's see how we started off here. Game number 1 of year number 5. Let's get this show on the road. We have the new additions of Roman Josi, so let's jump into this one, and we immediately start off with a power play goal. That first period ends 2-1. Jonas Brodin gets us a goal as well. Nicholas Backstrom scores on Hellebuyck. Second period now, and that's going to be a 4-3 lead for us. Philippe Danault on the fourth line, they're getting it done. 52 seconds left to give us that 4-3 lead. Michael Bunting scores on the power play. Nicholas Backstrom gets his second on Connor Hellebuyck, and Kyle Connor scores for us. Third period underway here. We'll go to the power play. Can we get anything going off it? No, but we already have a power play goal tonight. Dmitry Orlov going to tie things up at 4. I do not like to see this because you guys know that the simulation in the game is how we simulate all of our playoff matches. So I like to see good simulation numbers here. Unfortunately, though, we're going to overtime tied 4-4. Can somebody get it done for me? Or are we gonna go to the No, we're not. And it's Ville Heinola scoring in overtime despite him not being on any of the overtime lines. That is insane. And a very unlikely hero in Ville Heinola. These are the 3 stars of the night. And let's continue with some calendar simulation until we make our home debut. It looks like we have a bit of a prolonged road stretch here to start things off. We don't start our first home game until the Anaheim Ducks 5 games in, so let's simulate down to that one and hope that we can get some wins here on the board. There's a 3-1 win, a 4-2 loss, but then followed by another 3-2 win. So we have 2 wins beyond regulation, 1 win in regulation, 1 loss in regulation. And we are now going to see the Anaheim Ducks in our home debut. Last time we were here, we got beat out by Chicago in the 7th game of round number 3 of Western Conference Finals. So let's try to make them forget about that, and let's go take on Anaheim here. First period. Okay. Love to see that. Trevor Zegras, Filip Zadina, and Nate Guche. I'm not sure what his name is. Second period. Okay, we kind of crawl back a little bit. Nikolai Ehlers scoring 2, and Roman Josi on the power play, probably getting his first as a Winnipeg Jet before Pavel Menchikov gets his team the lead once again. So we're in this game now, boys. Only a 1-goal deficit. We definitely, I would think, have the firepower to pull this off. And there it is, Brock Besser on that top line. He grew to an 87 overall over the offseason, and he's going to rip that one past John Gibson. And now 10 minutes remain in that third period, and the Winnipeg Jets trying to crawl back from being down 3-0. So this is a good comeback for us, despite if we win or lose. Let's go see overtime. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is overtime in Canada Life Center, up here in cold Manitoba, as Jamie Drysdale brings this puck into the zone completely uncontested. He's going to go on a breakaway, and okay, Hellebuck makes a huge save. Josh Morrissey now, he's going to find Kyle Connor, and Kyle Connor tries to get around the bend, but Jamie Drysdale chases him down like crazy, and Trevor Zegras intercepts that pass. Troy Terry now, overtime is always super fast-paced. Troy Terry spins around Roman Josi, and now he's in on a breakaway, another backhander, and Hellebuck making another massive save to keep us in this game. Menchikov with a shot that is gloved down by Hellebuck. And now here comes Sam Reinhart on another breakaway, the third breakaway Hellebuck has had to face. This time, luckily, Josh Morrissey gets back and stripped that puck before it can be a danger. But now here we go. Here's Kyle Connor on his breakaway shot, saved by John Gibson. And it's just breakaway after breakaway here. And one tipped shot, tipped in front by Copafetti. And that's going to give us the win in overtime. All right, guys, it's been a good start to the year so far here. We're 5 games in. We've got 4 wins. We've only lost 1. Let's simulate past this Vegas game because then I have to do the scouting. So I just want to see what these boys can do in just about 2 weeks here. That's a horrible trade. Why would I make that? And let's see what we can do. There's another win, and then followed by another one. We have a bunch. But Melvin Barker's injured. We have a bunch of wins past regulation, which I don't actually like that much because kind of implies we can't get it done in the regular season. Oh, and I forgot to make this team a little bit better. Dang, okay. Let me just do that real quick. I'll have to fill you in with, I guess, a defenseman has to slot in there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I do have to get some AHL players into the system. My bad, boys. My bad. Stop the simulation because EA still hasn't fixed their broken game like months into it. So we got the overtime win over Anaheim, shootout win over Philadelphia, shootout win over Vancouver, a loss to Buffalo. And now let's keep trekking here past this game against Vegas. Then we will stop, and Melvin Barker's fully back. Okay, let me do these lines. Okay, so there we go. I made those changes. A medium elite goalie, a low backup goalie for a third and a fifth. You are smoking, Vegas. So hang on. Let me stop the simulation once again. Let's get back to the NHL team. Okay, there's a win against the Dallas Stars. And then can we simulate a few more games here to the 10th without an injury happening? Okay, and it wasn't an injury this time. It was just a trade offer. 5-2 win against the Sharks, and then a 4-2 win against the Vegas Golden Knights. And the Winnipeg Jets are rolling here. Let me do the scouting, and then we'll go and watch Chicago. Okay, boys, scouting out of the way, and now it is time to take on these dang Chicago Blackhawks, who are the literal death of us multiple times in this series. These guys are our #1 enemies. So let's go in there and see if we can finally beat Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks for once in my life. Good lord. First period, of course not. Nick Bastian or Nathan Bastian and Michael Amadio. Are you kidding? I never get beat by the actual good players. It's just their fourth line that dominates me, or their third line. Good lord. Second period now. 3-2. Sean Walker. 81 overall Sean Walker. You love to see it playing on their power play, sure. Why not? Just have a blast. Score 10 more on me. Oh my god, dude. Okay, there's Brad Lambert tying us up at threes. Oh, but then Kuzmenko. Okay, I'm not mad at Kuzmenko scoring. It's like an 86 overall. That actually makes sense. But holy cow. The Chicago Blackhawks just have our number, man. Even when we add in Roman Josi, we still let in 4 goals to 80 overalls. That's fantastic. You love to see it. All right, 4-3 loss there to the Chicago Blackhawks. But of course we lose. We always lose to the Blackhawks, so I'm not even worried about it. Let's continue simulating here a couple of weeks at a time, I would say, just to try to get towards this halfway point. If we ever see Nashville, I'm definitely going to go in and watch that game. We saw St. Louis in the first round, and then we saw Dallas, I think, and then it was Nashville. So any of those teams we can go and see as well. Let's just go down here to the St. Louis game for now and just see how we do in these next 2 weeks here. There's a 6-3 win, followed by a 4-3 shootout loss, but then another win. Okay, a 3-1 loss, and then a 3-2 overtime loss. Okay, so I don't love that little stretch that we went on. Oh my goodness, the Oilers are 17-1-1. That is crazy. Wow. Any other crazy stats? 16-5 for the Lightning, 15-3 for the Hurricanes. That's insane. So our division is very tight here. Only 4 points separating first place and sixth place. That's great. That's kind of scary, but we just got to keep winning some games here. So let us go down to... Let's see. Do we see any fun games we can go to? Do we play the Oilers? No, we don't. Do we play... We already saw the Lightning, the Hurricanes. Okay. Let's see. The Rangers are decent. Any, like, really good teams? Doesn't really look like it. Okay, let's just go see Colorado here. Colorado. Oh, we know Nashville. Yes. Roman Josi. See, look, Nashville's 4-10-5. Okay, I was worried that they were going to be a really good team, and then the trade for Roman Josi wouldn't have made sense. But 4-10-5, that trade actually makes sense now. So let's simulate here. 3-2 win, 4-2 loss. We got to get some wins here going. Got to get on a bit of a streak. There's a win. Let's get another overtime loss. Come on, boys. I need wins out of you. I need wins. Loss. If we lose 2 in a row, I'm stopping it. I'm going to just stop it for now. There's a win. Okay, good. Milic, you just start goalie, so you can just be replaced. Loss. Good lord. We're losing games here, but we're still top of our division, but barely. Still, 4 points separates 6th and 1st place. Crazy. Okay, let's continue simulating. I don't want to see 2 losses in a row, though. There's a win. Get a win against Colorado. This is a big win. Oh, no. Kyle Connor has been injured with a fractured ankle until February 1st. Oh boy, that's horrible. How has this first line been doing? They're actually -7, so okay. It's actually kind of... I'm not going to say it's good news, but good lord, our first and third line are killing me, dude. You guys are killing me. Oh my god, okay. I guess it's got to be Chaz Lucius up there. Or do we put, like, Velarde? Or Scheifele? I mean, but this second line has been lights out. I don't want to change the second line. Okay, let's go Chaz Lucius up. Let's get, let's go Logan O'Connor up to the third line. And then let's fill in, good lord, this is going to be rough. Jeff Carter will come in on the fourth line. And on the power play, we're going to have to make some moves now. Jeff Carter's not staying here on the power play. We'll put Cole Perfetti, or Velarde keeps a +5. So let's go Velarde. Second unit now. Instead of Chaz Lucia, or sorry, instead of Jeff Carter, let's go ahead and, I don't know. Okay, we're going to go with Philippe Danault here. And I want Perfetti on his shooting side. So I guess we'll do that. Foreman power play now. This can be Besser or Perfetti. Let's go Perfetti. Second line now. This will be... Let's just get a defenseman in there. Let's go Romaniosi, I think. And then I also need to take a look at, obviously, the extra lines and the penalty kill and all this stuff. Okay, so Jeff Carter's coming out for Nikolai Ehlers on that first line for sure. Second line, we'll throw in Brock Besser there. And then the third line, instead of Chaz Lucius and Jeff Carter, it'll be Chaz Lucius and Brock Besser, I think. Well, that makes sense. Same thing with 3-on-3 lines now. Alright, I'm also noticing that Mark Scheifele is now down to an 86 overall. He's dropped to an exact top 6 forward. So that's not good at all. You know, he still has 4 more years left on his deal, 3 more years left with us at the very minimum. So that is not great for us by any stretch of the imagination. Let's look at defense now. Let's see what these lines are looking like. Okay, Morrissey with 25 points +9. That's huge. Romaniosi doing well as well. 19 points +4. I will take that. The second line is horrible, though. Zach Werenski -3, 14 points. Jonas Brodin, 2 goals, -5. That's insane. Do I change this up? Man, that's crazy. And -4, -2, 3 for this third line defensively as well. Okay, let's get Kuzmin in there. Why not? Kuzmin, have a blast. You can play the right side as well. I don't want to change this first line, but I might have to. Okay, let me just remember these numbers. -3, -5. So I'm gonna switch them up. We're gonna switch for Zach Werenski to go to the first line. He played first line for us last year, so I'm going to remember their minuses and hope that they can change a little bit here throughout this little stretch that we have. Okay, I have to stop a sim, though, because we just lost 5-2 to the Avs. And now let's go a little bit further. This next game against the Avalanche. Milic is fully back. Okay, let me do this. And that was a 1-0 loss to the Avalanche. And now we're going to start to fall here, aren't we? Yeah, we're going to start to fall. Okay. But we're playing the Nashville Predators, who are a horrible team. So let's see if we can get on the winning streak here. A bit of a win streak for us. That would be nice to see. So here we go. Romaniosi facing his old team. He's on that second defensive pairing tonight. So let's see what he can do for us. 2-1 deficit to the 4-10-6 Nashville Predators. Great. Second period, 5-3. We are losing to Nashville. We are... Good Lord. I mean, what is wrong with this team? I go out and get a defenseman who's 5 overall better. Jesus, oh my gosh. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of here. Wow. Wow, we're not even acknowledging that, boys. We are not even acknowledging that. Let's continue. Let's continue here. A few more games. Win. Good. Great to get back on the winning streak after that last game, I'll tell you that. And then another win. Okay. Do I want to go in and watch this next game against Nashville? 9-15-8. Do you think they're going to beat us 10-4 again? Let's go find out. Let's go find out. Here we go. First period. That's what I like to see. Logan O'Connor, Philippe Danault, Josh Morrissey. Beautiful. Second period. Oh my. Don't you do it, boys. Don't you do it. Don't let them come back. We need bragging rights over this team. We need to know we've won this trade. Of course, Michael Matheson probably went crazy on us last game. I should have checked it, but I was just, I just wanted to skim past that. I'll check it this game. They'll see what his stats look like. Third period, though, about to come to an end. And so far, so good. Okay, so we're 1-1 in the season series against the Nashville Predators. Let's take a look at how did he get any points? Michael Matheson, no, he's a +1, though, but he had no points, so... We'll take that. And what about Romaniosi for us? Romaniosi, no points. He was a 0. Okay, didn't hurt us, but was kind of just out there doing some cardio. But you gotta get your cardio in every day, boys. Don't forget about that. All right, let's go a few more days here. We have 10 more games until the halfway point. So Where should we stop off? Oh, we can see the Oilers. The Oilers are a crazy good team. So let's go and simulate to that game and see what that looks like. That's a loss to Chicago, of course. That's guaranteed. A win. Then we get 2 in a row. Good. 3 in a row. Let's go on a little run. Let's go on a little streak here, boys. There's 4 in a row. Nice. Okay. Then we lose to the Devils, but we win against the Avs. And now we are out here playing the 29-10-2 Edmonton Oilers. They've played... No, they haven't played that many more games than us, but it looks like they have. But they have 2 more losses, so add those to the wins. 1 more win. Oh, that's so strange. I feel like it looks like they've played way more games than us, but they've only played 3 more. Okay. Fair enough. So let's go and see the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. I'm so used to saying Connor Bedard because we always watch him destroy our team. But here we go. Up against the Oilers. They are one of the best teams in the NHL, if not the best. But we're going to start it off. Brad Lambert gets 1, then Mark Scheifele adds another. Nice. Good job, boys. First 2 shots of the game go in on Stuart Skinner. That is typical for Edmonton Oilers fans, I'll tell you that. Finish the period at 2-0 in our favor. Good to see. We've played Edmonton in the playoffs before. I forget what the series was, but I think we won the series if I remember correctly. Either way, second period, 3-0 for us. Nikolai Ehlers scores on Stuart Skinner once again, and this third period is now underway. Let's see if we can hold these Edmonton Oilers at bay for a little bit longer. Brock Besser scores on the power play. That's a super long power play, and Zach Hyman, 50-goal scorer this year. He gets a goal on Connor Hellebuyck. I wonder if he's ever had 50 in the simulation. My guess is probably not, considering Connor McDavid barely gets 100 points in the sim. That's a 5-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers as Brock Besser gets 2 in the third period. Did he have a hat trick by chance? I don't think so. No, he did not. But 2 goals, that's pretty dang good for the kid. Connor Hellebuyck had a great performance as well. Mark Scheifele with 2 points, Nikolai Ehlers with 3 points. That second line is dominant for us. And we love to see it. 3 more games until the halfway point. So let's just go down here up against Boston. This is when I have to do my scouting as well, so it works out perfectly timing-wise. Let's go see the Boston Bruins. Let's try to get another little bit of a win streak here. Can we get like 4 wins in a row? That would be nice. There's 4 wins in a row. Okay, you ask and you shall receive. As soon as Kyle Connor goes out, it feels like we've become a bit of a better team, which I know is crazy to say. But, you know, we're winning games. What are we without Kyle Connor? When did we lose him? It was this game against the Avs. So after this, we went 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4, 9-4, 10-4, 11-4 since we have lost Kyle Connor on the roster. I mean, that's what you got to do. When your big time players go out, you have to bounce back and you have to show we can do this. You know, Kyle Connor, great addition to the team. Obviously, we love Kyle Connor, but or not addition to the team, but great player on the team. But we have to bounce back. Chaz Lucius, he's done okay. I think I didn't look at his points, but 24 points in 41 games on pace. Wait, how has he already played 41 games? Aren't we only 40 games into this? Did I do my math wrong, bro? Are we seriously 41 games in? Oh, we are. Okay, well, I'm going to do one more because I always want to simulate the end. And then I'll just add the points together as if it's halfway through the season. But either way, this is the 42nd game of the season. I thought it was the 41st, but my math fails me once again, as it always does. First period up against Boston here, 3-2 for those Bruins. Pasternak with a goal. Velarde and Morrissey give us the lead by 1. But then Bjorkstrand and Rasmussen are going to give Boston the 1-goal lead. That was 4 goals scored in 9 minutes and 59 seconds. I can do that math, though. Second period now. Let's get some goals here. Okay, nice. Nicely done, Hellebuyck. Nicely done. 6 goals on 26 shots for Boston. It's not something you love to see. Michael Rasmussen, I think that's like a hat trick, maybe? Is that already a hat trick for him? I don't know. We got a goal. Michael Madsen with 3. Okay, hang on. We have 2. That's 2 quick goals. But then Michael Rasmussen gets his hat trick. There it is, of course. I speak it into existence. And 8-5. This is a nuts game. Holy cow. All right. And it's going to end 8-5. Oof. That was not a pretty one. Michael Rasmussen going to be the first star with 3 goals, a hat trick. Josh Morrissey, 2nd star. Charlie McAvoy, 3rd star. That's strange. Was it in? Must have been in Winnipeg, because why would we give? I don't know. I can't really tell. Okay, 42 games in. We are atop of the Central Division. That's pretty common in this series. And we are a good team all around. We're in there in like 6, 7, 8 range is my guess. But let's take a look and see how we're doing. Let's go in the entire league, just because I like to get it. Oh my god, this is crazy. The Metro is so competitive that the Islanders are the 7th best team and they're in a wild card spot. That's insane. All right, so we're 26, 13, and 3. We have 3.38 goals for per game. That seems kind of low. Where does that put us? 8, 9, 10th best team in the league, tied for 10th best in the league. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. And then goals against, this seems a little bit high. Let's see. Actually, maybe not too crazy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're right in the middle. We're the 16th best defensive team, so right in the middle there. I'd like to see that come down quite a bit. Power play, finally we get a power play that can click at a decent rate. We're the 10th best power play, so that's nice to see. Usually we're like way at the bottom, but our penalty kill sucks. Okay. So, you know, you can never have both things, can you, in this universe? You can never have both. I just want to see, we've had 126 power plays, 25 goals. So, yeah, okay, it seems okay. I just want to make sure that we're getting enough power plays, because I thought maybe that was the reason, like, power plays aren't happening enough, so therefore all the percentages are down. But either way, we're the 5th best team in the league, and we were like well, I don't remember the numbers, but you guys saw them there. 5th best team. Where are the Nashville Predators now? Let's just take a quick gander. Nashville, they were horrible. Obviously in our division, they're like the last place team, or second last. Yeah, they're not good. They are not great. Nashville, 39 points, 15, 21, and 9. And you know who's right down here with them? Chicago Blackhawks. They played 47 games. They are 18, 24, and 5. So after making it to the Stanley Cup final last year, these boys are going to get another top 6 pick that can torment us, or like top 10 pick that can torment us for the next 10 years. Fantastic. Can't wait for that to happen. But now let's take a look at the player stats. So Nikolai Ehlers, 43 points in 42 games. He's on pace for just about 85 points, 86 points. Mark Scheifele on pace for just about 80 or so, dropping in overall, but still getting the production, so I'll take it. Josh Morrissey with 39 points plus 10. That is beautiful stuff. Brock Besser, 33 points minus 7. Yeah, that first line is not great, but the second line's doing amazing. Roman Josi, 30 points plus 14. Roman Josi, you are him right now. Cole Perfetti, 29 points, minus 7. Cole Perfetti has been a big disappointment in this franchise mode. I thought this guy was going to be our franchise centerman, you know, stay with us forever, get like 90 overall, great X factors. No, he's dropped to a medium top 6 forward, 86 overall. He just can't get it done on that first line. He's only making $6 million, luckily, but good lord, that's rough. Chaz Lucius almost has the same amount of points as Cole Perfetti. Crazy. Okay, Kyle Connor in 26 games, he had 24 points. That was beautiful. He was a -4, but he was getting it done. Gabriel Velarde has 21 points in 42 games. He's on pace for just about 40. He's a +8 as well, playing second line time with those boys. It's just about his average with us so far, since this just about where he always is. So I'll take it. Zach Werenski. Bit of a disappointment from Zach Werenski. 19 points is great, but -6 is not ideal, and that drop. So -6 means that he did drop 1 minus playing alongside of Josh Morrissey, but Josh Morrissey is still doing his thing, so I'm not too worried about it. Brad Lambert, 15 points, but -3. Lambert on pace for just about 30 points or so. So he's on pace for a career best. I'll take that. A bit more of a playmaker this year, which is nice. Philippe Danault, only 14 points, but playing fourth line time, and he's a +4, so that's actually pretty good for him. Logan Hutsko playing definitely outside his caliber, playing 10 minutes a night, but we need somebody on that third line, so that's definitely the place that we can regroup and try to get some people in there. There's Logan O'Connor, -3, but 13 points. For fourth liner, it's not the end of the world. Undrafted guy. He's on our penalty kill, which sucks, so maybe that's not a plus. Ville Heinola, -6. Yikes, 9 points. Jeff Carter, though. Jeff Carter always comes in and does his thing. 6 points and +4 in 16 games. This is why I re-signed him. I know he's 43, but this man gets it done on the fourth line, I'll tell you that. Then Dmitry Kuzmin, actually, 16 points. He's got 6 points. Wow, that's fantastic. He's a +2 as well, so that's beautiful. Jonas Brodin, only 5 points, but he has climbed his plus-minus out of the mud. He was -2, now he's +3, so playing alongside Roman Josi definitely helping him out. And then Adam Beckman here, 4 points, +1, no penalty minutes, which is nice to see, even though he's a big body. Is he hitting for me at all? Not really. 17 hits, 6 blocks. Gives it away, but kind of just a meh player. And then Artemi Kniazev, we took him out of the lineup because he was -4, only 2 points. We put in Dmitry Kuzmin, and that looks like it has been a fantastic move. So Artemi Kniazev definitely on the block here in the trade deadline. And speaking of the blocks, oh, hang on. I do have to look at the goalies. Can never forget about the goaltenders. Obviously, that last game against Boston going to skew the numbers for both of them. I have a feeling their numbers are not great. And no, they are definitely not. 19-9-3, good record, but 899 save percentage. Disgusting. 3.16 goals against. Disgusting. He's dropped to an 86 overall as well. Yikes. Jet Greaves, on the other hand, 7-6. Pretty meh record, not great. But 913 save percentage is great for EA, and 2.89 is great as well. So that's nice to see. Let's go to all skaters and see who leads the league. And it is Connor McDavid, of course. As soon as I say that McDavid can barely get 100 points, he's on pace for just about 110, 115 points or so. So that guy is getting his job done. And then right below him, of course, his partner in crime, Leon Draisaitl. And then it's Adam Fox. Holy, that's insane. Adam Fox with 62 points in 43 games. That's a ridiculous performance from him, and the Rangers are loving that. Was he drafted by them, or was he drafted by somebody else and traded? I always do this. No, he was drafted by Calgary. Wow, what was the trade? You guys, let me know. I'm not my Adam Fox lore is not. I'm not too familiar with it, so let me know how did Adam Fox get traded to the Rangers? They traded They probably, and the Flames, who are the Flames and the Rangers? I can't think of anything, but I'm sure there's something there. Nikita Kucherov with 61, then Pasternak with 56, Svechnikov 56, Nylander 55, Rantanen 55, Sebastian Aho, Panarin, Elias Pettersson, Matthew Poitras with 53 points. That's insane. Matthews with 52, he's got 30 goals on the year. Alexei Lafreniere with 52, of course. Kirill Kaprizov, Jordan Gavin for the San Jose Sharks, 88 overall medium elite, 21 years old, 6th overall pick in 2025. Good for him. And it's nice to see a rookie getting up there in points as well. There's Nikita Kucherov leading the league in goals, on pace for like high 60s, 66, 65, something like that. Pasternak is here, Nylander's here, Matthews is here, Matthew Tkachuk is here. Okay, interesting stuff. Let's go look at defensemen, even though we know that it's going to go to Adam Fox, but still nice to see. Oh my god, he's blowing out everybody. Evan Bouchard with 49, Shea Theodore with 45, Cale Makar with 45, Victor Hedman with 43, Quinn Hughes with 41, Charlie McAvoy with 40, and then Josh Morrissey with 39. So he's in that top 10 conversation is Josh Morrissey. Brennan Montour, Morgan Riley, Rasmus Dahlin, Jacob Slavin, Rasmus Anderson, Seth Jones, Roman Josi right down here as well. Okay, so I like to see it. And who's the best plus-minus defenseman? Who's the best pairing? Do we see? Okay, probably McAvoy and Lindholm is probably the best D pairing out there. Or maybe you could make a case for Keandre Miller and Adam Fox. We're probably the D pairing over there. Ours guys are not up here quite yet. But we're trying. We're making a run for it. But now, let's go take a look at the trade blocks around the league and see who's available so that you guys can give your input as always, boys. Conservative seller here in the Anaheim Ducks, and they've got mostly just prospects on the block, so we're not really looking for that. We are looking for NHL caliber players, specifically a forward. We need a forward out there who can really help us out. Here's Sean Dursey and Ivan Provorov. Boston has Blake Coleman. That's not really going to help us out. Buffalo with nothing. Calgary with nothing. Carolina. Okay. A guy like Teuvo Teravainen, I think, is pretty interesting playmaker. He has 45 points in 43 games. This could be a really nice acquisition. Teuvo Teravainen playing. I know he's not a power forward like Fresh wanted, so let's try to look for a power forward as well. But Teuvo Teravainen, definitely a nice looking piece that we can add. But again, who would we trade? I will show you guys our trade values after this as well. Kuzmenko, all these guys down here. Tyler Toffoli could be interesting, but only an 83 overall. Now, he still has some X factors, so maybe he could be okay, but not ideal in my opinion. Columbus, Alex Texier. Oh, great contract for an 87 overall, only $5 million, but a two-way forward again, not really a power forward. 6'1", 186. He's a big guy. He's great defensively. 87 defense. Really, that would help out our penalty kill as well, if you want to think about that. Okay, he's got, what is that, 33 points in 43 games. Not bad. Let's keep moving here. Dallas, Detroit, okay. Edmonton, yeah, not going to have anything. Florida, nothing. The LA Kings, okay. Trevor Moore, okay, no, but he's extended, so let's not look at that. Dubois, that's a crazy contract. Mikey Anderson, Wenberg, do we want to try to go for Wenberg? He's a playmaker. Man, not really. I don't even like Wenberg. Minnesota now, nothing. Montreal Canadiens, you want to bring back Neil Pionk for 4 years as an 84 overall at $6.5 million, who only has 23 points? No, thank you. Brady Shea, here's Brady Shea. No, Brady Shea wasn't the guy. It was Red Pesci. What am I saying? Christian Fisher. Nashville with nothing. The Devils with nothing. The Islanders with nothing. The Rangers with nothing. The Sens, not really anything. Philadelphia. Okay, there's some guys here. Igor Sharangovich, two-way forward. Nicholas Watt, way forward at 22 points for him, 21 points for Sharangovich. They're okay depth pieces, but not in love with it by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, Braden Shen, two-way forward, 84 overall. Bit older guy, but still can get it done for sure. He's got 38 points in 43 games. That's really good. That's $7 million. I don't think we can pull that. Tampa with some prospects, Toronto with nothing, Vancouver with some prospects, Vegas, Chandler Stevenson or Ivan Barbashev. Ooh, two-way forward is Ivan Barbashev. So there's a lot of two-way forwards out here. And Chandler Stevenson also two-way forward, right? Yeah, he's got some X factors though at least, so maybe he can help out more. He can play center, like third-line center for us. That would be crazy. Who's this guy? Brendan Brisson, or Bryson, probably. Where's he from? Okay, it's probably Brendan Bryson or Brisson. Two-way forward again. Yeah, not as interested in him. And then last but not least, Washington has Tom Wilson. Here's the power forward. Washington has Tom Wilson, power forward. He's got wheels and truculence, but he's 33. He's on a rough contract, 4 years, $6.5 million, and he only has 30 points this year. For 4 years seems like crazy. Patrick Kane. No, man. Am I going to fall into this trap again? I always go for the older guys. And no, Alex said you always go for the older guys. We pay, good money for the older guys and they never do anything for us. But I'm just saying, guys, if you're watching and you want Patrick Kane, I always follow what the comments say. So, just in case you're watching. But that's everybody. Tom Wilson, really the only good power forward on the block. But 6.5 mil is kind of crazy. And what would we trade for him? Let's just do like a little mock trade situation here. It's not going to be Dylan Barker for sure. It's going to have to be a forward going out the other way as well. So I would assume Gabriel Velarde perhaps. But Velarde's playing second line ice time for us. He's got 21 and 42. Yeah, this would definitely be an upgrade. We would be over the salary cap though by $2 million. So we'd have to free up $2 million somehow. Maybe $2 million comes in the form of Artemi Kniazev here. We can trade. We'd still be over the salary cap. Good lord, what do we have to... We have to get them to retain some salary as well. Yeah, okay. Oh, we're still over. Hang on. Even though it told me we weren't a second ago. I love how it just changes on. Okay, we're still over. Nice. Okay, there we go. We'd go through with making about $5 million for the next 4 years. He's an 87 overall, though, so that's actually a pretty good contract. The only problem is for 4 more years. I would love it if it was just like 2 years, 1 year, If he was an expiring deal, I would love this very much. But it's definitely something to think about. We throw in like a second-round pick. We throw in a prospect. Do we have any good prospects that we would be, maybe not good, but like these little league guys? Look at this. Mats Dahl is 77 overall at only 20 years old. He might be ready for next year, boys. Look at that defensive category. He could probably play in the NHL right now. He doesn't have good skating, but he's got a really good defensive category. He's got good physical. Okay, he's not ready for the NHL yet, but he's getting up there. Other than that, like this guy, maybe Ekman Larson, low elite, 20 years old, two-way forward. Yeah, he's the same overall as somebody who's 18. So okay, maybe Ekman Larson goes in the trade. What does that do for us? It's pretty even now. Maybe this would go through. But do we want to keep Tom Wilson on the team for another 4 years? I do not know. That's where you guys come in and give me advice. So halfway through the season, let me know how I did with the trade. We picked up Roman Josi from the Nashville Predators, and luckily the Predators have been a horrible team, so the trade actually makes sense for them. They pick up a first-round pick from us, and basically a roster filler in Michael Matheson, and then also a medium elite goaltender. So I think that's a pretty good haul for the Nashville Predators. Maybe they could have gotten like a forward prospect as well, or a defense prospect, but that's what that first-round pick is going to turn into. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Let me know if I completely fleece them, and maybe we can make some amends. I can send them over some more prospects or anything like that. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you did, give it a like. Comment what you think we should do. Do we go after a power forward and Tom Wilson? Do we go after maybe a lower overall player? Maybe somebody like Chandler Stevenson that we saw. Anybody else? Nicholas Waugh. All these other guys that we saw on the block. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.